In a very similar way to another recent example of the Mercedes E-Class Coupe, on this occasion of course the open top with that black power roof, a 2+2 seater in the proper sense being an E-Class. Of course 2+2 seaters do tend to drop the ball a little bit when it comes to rear passenger room, not so with the Mercedes. You actually have decent space back there in addition to the front passenger and driver as well, but this car is simply put far too well aligned to vehicles which we love to not offer as part of our prestige collection, because we actually took on this particular Mercedes E-Class Cabriolet, an E350, and those who are familiar with Mercedes models know that means it has a pretty beefy engine, and we'll get to the engine in a second, of course, that 3-litre V6. It's a BlueEfficiency sport model though, so the fuel economy is still fantastic with the G-Tronic gearbox, and as mentioned is of course the Cabrio model. It's finished in metallic black with very complementary black AMG design wheels and that striking flamenco red interior, which really makes this car striking to look at, particularly with the roof down. It has a great history behind it as well, most recently being serviced in October of 2024, but on top of that it also still has an MOT until October of 2025 with crucially no advisories at all to be concerned about. It still has its original book pack and 2 keys intact, and this is the real key. For under £5,500, which is an astronomical amount of car for the money, this has clearly been loved. In fact, one of the best things about high performance diesel vehicles, such as this one is with that 3-litre V6 diesel in particular, is not only are they fantastic as long distance continent crushers, if you will, in terms of mileage, but they wear their mileage on their sleeve. If you were to, for example, pay the same kind of price for a vehicle with a 3-litre V6, say petrol engine, with 115,000 miles on the clock, you would probably be rightly concerned in many cases, German or otherwise. In the case of a car like this though, being a diesel, it takes that in its stride. At motorway speed with the cruise control turned on, the engine is barely turning any revs and relying crucially on all of that torque. And torque this car has plenty of because it has 230 horsepower, that means around a 6-second 0 to 60 time, but more importantly 400 foot-pounds of torque, and that is a very healthy amount. It means effortless performance. If you need to, for example, waft past the traffic, instantaneously you can do that. In fact, these are actually speed limited to 155 miles an hour, so they're capable of even more. Not bad at all, given that they can average 40 miles to the gallon, despite being a 3-litre engine, and on the motorway, which again is really where they come into their own, nearly 50 miles to the gallon, and all the while still being under £5,500. Well, that's the kind of price you could easily spend on a small city runabout, except here you're getting the same kind of efficiency of a small hatchback, but with everything else on top. Much better looks, a far nicer interior, and crucially, of course, a far better level of kit. We already mentioned cruise control and the power roof. It also, of course, has those aforementioned AMG wheels, blind spot assist as well, an 8-speaker sound system with built-in Bluetooth, and of course climate control. The list goes on, being a Mercedes as you would assume, and that's in addition to the great looks, smooth ride, great handling. These still look fantastic today. In fact, in a time when cars are looking more and more alike, you could say they're starting to look even better than they did when new. So once again, if you are looking for a vehicle which is perfect as we move into the best weather of the year, but simultaneously that has the kind of efficiency, space and practicality to use it every day if you wanted to, well, you'd really have to justify not wanting a car like this for under £5,500. So of course, if you would like to reach out regarding this E350 Sport Cabriolet, you could send us an email via the address shown here on screen, or give us a call on 01749 871 155 or on our mobile number of 07482 267 439.